Days Gone got a bit overshadowed when it was released. It was a bit buggy, and most were far more excited about Sony's other big exclusive, The Last of Us Part 2. Reviewers may not have been particularly kind, but players couldn't get enough, and the PC release has only increased the game's popularity. This game is very different from games like The Last of Us, and is a pure, open-world zombie game in pretty much every way. The countryside is also breathtaking. Patches following its release have made it much better, so there has never been a better time to jump in, especially for PS5 owners. State of Decay 2 is just one of many Xbox-exclusive zombie games released over the past decade or so, though some will argue that it's probably the pick of the bunch. The combat on offer here is absolutely fantastic, and is backed up with a great score and some decent visuals too. One of the things that makes the same so enjoyable is its relentless difficulty, which demands improvement from players if they're to have any hope of surviving the game's brutal and unforgiving world. It does have one or two problems, but these shouldn't be enough to sour the experience for most players. dayz offers a unique experience to players struggling to survive in a post-zombie apocalypse world. The game, which started as a mod of Arma, continues its journey as an independent game. dayz's vast and detailed open world is set in a fictional former Soviet country. This huge map includes various areas such as cities, villages, forests, and military bases. To survive in this world full of dangers, you must collect resources, interact with other players, and avoid hordes of zombies. Surviving in dayz is not limited to just running away from zombies. You have to find food, water, medicine, and be prepared for changeable weather conditions. Injuries, diseases, and environmental hazards make the fight for survival even more difficult. The simplistic art style and isometric viewpoint may suggest otherwise to some, but Project Zomboid is a fantastic game. Initially released as a tech demo in April of 2011, it received numerous updates over the course of the following decade, with Build 41 arriving in late 2021. It really has come a long way and is now widely considered to be one of the best open-world zombie games on PC. The story is set amidst a zombie outbreak in Louisville, Kentucky, and supports both single and multiplayer gameplay. It incorporates a mixture of survival and RPG mechanics, and places a heavy emphasis on avoiding or escaping zombies rather than trying to tackle them head-on. There are plenty of great Project Zomboid mods too, allowing players to further customize the experience to better meet their needs. No One Survived is an open-world zombie game that combines survival and strategy elements. The game offers players a struggle to survive in a post-apocalyptic world. This game, which you can play alone or with your friends, requires you to cope with challenges such as collecting resources, construction, and making strategic decisions while escaping from zombie hordes. One of the most notable features of the game is its detailed resource management and construction system. You need to collect food, water, and other basic needs to survive. Additionally, building a safe shelter and protecting this shelter against zombie attacks is also an important part of the game. The construction system is quite deep and flexible, allowing players to build their own unique bases. It should perhaps go without saying, but those who like Dying Light will almost certainly enjoy the game's sequel. After all, both games were developed by the same team and are set in the same universe. Sadly, however, a lot of people seem to be sleeping on Dying Light 2, despite enjoying the original. Like its predecessor, Dying Light 2 is an open-world zombie game with survival elements and provides players with a ridiculous amount of content. The game looks great, the combat is fast and fluid, and the parkour system ranks among the very best in gaming. Fans of zombie games would do well to check it out, particularly those looking to kill time as well as the undead. humanitz is an open-world survival game that tells the story of people trying to survive after the zombie apocalypse. The game is played from an isometric perspective, allowing players to control a large area and make strategic decisions. This game, which you can play both alone and in cooperation with your friends, reflects the difficulties of surviving in the zombie apocalypse in the most realistic way. In the game, you can find classic survival mechanics such as gathering resources, building, crafting, and of course fighting off hordes of zombies. However, humanitz stands out by adding its own unique touches to these mechanics. For example, you can interact with other survivors you encounter during the game, trade with them, or persuade them to join your team. This greatly diversifies the dynamics and playability of the game. If you're interested in zombie-themed survival games, humanitz should definitely be on your list. Scum is an open-world survival game developed by Gamepires and published by Devolver Digital. The game was first released as early access on August 29, 2018, and has continued to be developed with constant updates since then. Scum is set in a world where you try to survive as part of a television show where prisoners fight to the death. In this game, you will push the limits of your survival skills. One of the most notable features of the game is its incredibly detailed survival mechanics. In Scum, you not only have to manage basic needs like hunger and thirst, but you also have to control much finer details like vitamin and mineral balance, metabolism, body temperature, and even bowel movements. This level of detail increases the realism and depth of the game, an important feature that distinguishes Scum from other survival games. Surrounded is a zombie survival game that drops players into an open world and they must strategize to survive. One of the most striking features of the game is that it offers a large and detailed open world. This world consists of various regions from abandoned cities to dense forests, and different dangers await you around every corner. The first thing you need to do to survive in the game is to collect resources. You have to find vital supplies such as water, food, weapons, and ammunition. In addition, you need to build safe shelters and strengthen these shelters to protect yourself from zombie hordes. The atmosphere of Surrounded is truly impressive. The graphics and sound effects completely immerse you in the post-apocalyptic world. Hearing the howls and footsteps of zombies at night will increase your adrenaline level. Set in a post-apocalyptic future following a nuclear war, 7 Days to Die's premise is not too dissimilar to that of the Fallout universe. Where it differs, however, is the emphasis that it places on survival, with players having to start from scratch if they perish at the hands or teeth of the game's zombie hordes. Though the game didn't quite live up to some of the promises made during its successful Kickstarter campaign, it's still a lot of fun to play. Nighttime can be particularly enjoyable due to how daunting everything feels, although playing with friends can make survival a lot more manageable. At least until the blood moon occurs on the 7th day anyway.